And yeah, CLG being sent back right away.
I was surprised that it didn't take out Dozier early on, because he had at least like 3 extra seconds where they should have killed him already, where he was free to just... He missed a couple of shots, that's fair, but they should have downed him way earlier. When you're in that position, that's the #1 spot you spot as ST coming into that bomb side. And having the amount of respect I have for CLG, I'm actually quite surprised he didn't take him down earlier.
Yeah, CLG back on the bite, forcing up to whatever they can, double stack towards...
Oh, that's dangerous.
Underpass area, and yeah, Mo just going in on his own, allowing Ricky the chance. You play into these pistols, you've got to be very cautious of this area normally, and Ricky goes off, 2 big kills for him. That's a perfect beginning. And they do even recover a rifle off the back of it as well, so Ethan's going to pick that one up. And now they've got nice map control too. Not too much towards A, so I guess that's a little bit of an issue in the back of their minds, but they've got a bit of, you know, control here towards short. They've got a little bit of a play going through this one. Let's go with the rest of Gambit on notice, just a little bit worried, and you can see Dozier wants to get a frag back, try and even the score out, try and do something. They still have the upper hand weapon-wise, but players, they're down to 3.
It's going to be very hard. Dozier, he has that mentality that a lot of players have when they get behind, or if they make a mistake, they want to make sure that everything's going to be okay again by going aggressive.
Great information found, though. Perfect timing to do so. Dozier pushing out at that moment as well. Just as they fell off this, they're going to be very quick to bolster the numbers by A.
Yeah. So here we go. Ethan and the boys moving in closer towards A, and the rotation has come for Gambit. And just holding this one, Zeus. See if he can get into... he's staying. He's not getting into a more aggressive position. I don't like this position, but he gets the first frag. Take from Fawn.
It's nice that you can see the shadow on the left side first, but if there's more than one playing in, you're kind of screwed, and now they know that. So it's going to be Hobbit to try and keep this one together. Dozier is not far away with the UMP, so that comes through as well. Nice shutdown in the end, but it's all because of that read from Dozier, pushing out at the perfect timing, getting all the information. As soon as Cutler backed away from it, I don't know if he heard it or just kind of felt around the timing, just, all right, I've got to find out where they are, because we have no info, but all the players in the right place. Really well played out.
Yeah, and that's like the importance of an information play. If you can get that information from that CT side, you can do the perfect rotation and then just hold the side. But I have to say, that opening double peek coming out from Gambit, that was horrible. First off, peeking long range with an MP9, and then going straight in after your teammate has been killed. That's just big mistakes. Talking about big mistakes, dying to a Molotov.
Hi, Ethan. How you like this? 3 players left now for CLG. They are only on pistols. There's only like an upgraded P250, I think, at most. So really, if anything, if they get a kill, that'd be brilliant. They do, but it's only on Zeus, who had the SMG anyway, so he was just farming cash up. So he'll be perfectly fine. You can see the money now for the CT side. It's not fully robust, but it's decent. They can go on whatever buy they want here. Straight on the AWP now, coming out as well. And onto the other side, Kusta going to be picking that one up for CLG. So again, both in a good position here. We've got 2 SMGs being stuck on, so Zeus and Dozier both committing to these. I'm wondering if they're going to go aggressive, play it out in some unique way, just to try and make up for the difference, but we're going to find out right about now. Yeah,
I would like for Zeus to play very, very close range and then just hold some kind of corner, use his utility to get into a good position. And right now, following Adren's early push, and a push towards short as well from the CTs.
Look at this stacks would be, exactly. This is what I expected to see because of those SMGs, but Mo being the first to die with the AWP is not what I wanted to see at all. I don't know how he's... Oh my god, he didn't even pick up a gun. Zeus has had a mare. Hobbit thankfully saves the day slightly, I guess, trying to piece together anything he can to salvage this round, because Gambit, that was really, really sloppy. And that wasn't even Ethan pushing out through connector to try and punish it further, you know, pinching towards water. That was just a bit of an overstep by Gambit and just not doing what they needed. Now, of course, Ricky did get picked up in the meantime, so CLG do still only have 4 players, but they've got a great deal of advantageous, I guess, elements to how they're playing thus far. There's only 1 player left towards A for now.
Yeah, and this is the exact same setup as the last time they tried to take A. Everyone's rotating in and trying to get on that A execute. And Dren this time around, playing a more defensive role than his teammate from before. The rotation should be coming in now from the CTs. They're actually still staying 1 on B, so the terrorists will have an easier task here.
Yeah, this time there's not that instant rotate over. Nice work from Adren, though, to stem the bleeding. Ethan going down, but Hobbit was there as well. So we're down to this 2v2. Dozier with the AWP. It's a new look. Let's see if it suits him. Kusta as well on his, and that's what we want to be seeing. Kusta going off. Nice connection from Dozier, though. Didn't get the tag, and might just try and play in with this P250. Tagging. Dozier, that's big. Cutler goes down. It's a 1v1. That could be a one-shot now. Kusta, though, takes the fight and wins it out. Nicely played in there from Kusta. That's the individual power you want to see from him. Confidence-building sort of play there.
Yeah, definitely. In that kind of situation, you would always favor the guy with the P250 also, because Kusta's HP is so low.
Like 15, right?
Yeah, and that's why he goes off on the off angle, because he knows he has to take an angle that's not common, because he's usually not going to win that duel. That's just perfect decision-making, split-second decision-making from Kusta there. Taking it out with the AWP. 3-1 first round for CLG on the board. And as we do see, Gambit, one player on the Swag 7, one player on the UMP, and lacking utility on the CT side. It's not looking too good. And, well, Ethan is the only one really lacking on that T side. Having that Tech 9. Let's see where they want to go.
This map, to be fair, like, with this map the way it is, I actually don't mind the Tech 9 either. It's actually pretty fine. Like,
yeah. Especially if you can come in the back of a push.
Yeah, even if you're the one who just gets traded off, it's fine. We'll see how he plays this one through. He is going in, first man through. Dozier's gonna be the one to probably claim him. What is going on with these guys? They do seem a little rusty for now. They're still up 3-1. I'm being very, very harsh to this, but Ethan's just gonna unleash hell. Just dives in there. He did actually find Zeus, so that's fine. Also got the information, and they planted. That's the bomb. What is going on? Why did Cutler leave the bomb in towards Hobbit's hands? Why did someone else allow someone else to do something? That's given such a brilliant opportunity. Adren's position is now brilliant too. They get to try and just unravel this horrible situation of FNS. Just doesn't land the shot. Every angle contains a threat. Kusta's gonna have to try and dig them out of this grave. They're about to step into and Mo there in the end to shut it. But what was that round?
That was the weird round.
Why is Cutler pushing towards water with the bomb when there's
so many small things in there that just like baffles my mind. But nonetheless, get onto a new one. And let's see. Oh, CLG are going to step back. Kusta in the picture now. Of course, get that one round. And then losing straight after, forcing them on pistols. P250s that, as we know, very, very strong in the game. Adren opens up, and Kusta's down.
Nice little early foray into it. Falls back, doesn't allow to fall foul to, I guess, any play through underpass right now like Ethan is trying to do. Zeus going to spot the push up. It's got a little bit of an angle on it. Probably going to spot that shoulder peek there. He has. So again, well, CLG do have the information. That's the shot and a half. That's what we want to be seeing.
What? That's
Nothing
insane.
Like broken pistols to make you enjoy some
P250s,
CS.
man.
They're powerful. All right, just you hate to see it, but you also kind of like it a little bit. But this is nice from CLG, just taking over areas, slowly trying to strangle, hold out Gambit, get some guns away. It's not a bad plan at all. But eventually you've got to suspect and expect that the bigger guns, the bigger weaponry should prevail. But there we go. 2 kills, not too bad in the end.
A nice little op shot through the wall there from Mo. And Gambit, of course, after having a couple of mistakes, is still stabilizing. They're still only given 1 round away to CLG and gotten all the rest. So it's not too terrible, but still, they have a few problems here and there. But hopefully it's something that they can work out throughout this map. And right now, it's 5-1 is a great start for them and forcing CLG into this eco as well. So like 99% going to probably get that. Well, 99% was 1.6. Let's say 75 because CSGO now. They're going to win this eco here.
Look, if there was a couple more of those pistols, I'd be saying it's the right 50-50. But it is only P250 and Tech 9, I think, was the only other investment. First, they're going to find Elise Zeus. And there we go, nice and shut down. Gambit aren't afraid to be taking these fights, even if they are against pistols, and whether you like it or not, it's worked for them thus far. CLG yet to punish some of the mistakes we've been seeing Gambit making. It was a very shaky start. It wasn't, the Gambit that you kind of expect to see at, their top tier level. It looks like a little bit of a lesser Gambit right now. That look though, he's ready. He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's like, hey guys, I'm back from holiday, feeling it. Is Zeus gonna give us any memes? He's focused. He's thinking of the next meme, of course. But yeah, no, all in all, it's a good start. I'm a little surprised that CLG haven't been able to punish a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm thinking about, like, when you're playing against Gambit and you have the chance of them making a bit of a mistakes in the beginning, you have to capitalize on that. You have to get that good start to get that momentum flowing, because your CLG, everyone's going to be thinking, okay, you're probably not going to win this game, but they have a chance. And they haven't blown it yet, of course, but I think they could have gotten far more out of these first couple of rounds here if they had just played a tad better, been a bit more focused, because they made mistakes themselves as well.
Yeah, there's the round with the bombs just fully committing through the site. It makes me
it's
really
just
sad.
Stuck in your mind now, isn't it?
It's just one of those things, because you always tell yourself you won't do it, but you're desperate to try and like trade into that kill. Your team just goes down like, oh, I can just jump in there and get it, but you die as well. Bomb goes loose. Then the last 3 players for Gambit are in the perfect spot. They don't need to commit to anything. You have to push into them even further. It's just like, oh, yeah. You kind of feel for it, right? But still, this is not the scoreline I expected or wanted to see. I actually want to see more from CLG in this. I kind of, taking form into account, this should have been their scoreline. They should be sad 6-1, but they're not. They've kind of let drop the ball a little bit here at this point. We'll see if they warm up into this game again. I think it's because the last time I watched CLG, they were in one of those high points where they were playing really well. So I kind of expect to see that on a consistent basis. Not here yet, and Zeus already just proving dominant towards that underpass area. Ethan goes down. He's been very good actually controlling that, keeping that as an option. Nice rotates off the back of it, but this time, can't get it done.
See it. 5v4 situation, and CLG, of course, took that time out to get everything under control, to make sure that the rest of the T side would be more successful. But what can you do when Adren just pushes up, takes your AWP out, cools this down, and well, this 6-1 is about to be 7-1. Look at that. Zeus, he has so much information. He hears them coming, he has the bomb. He doesn't hear the second guy though, but still, like, he has done so much this round already, and he's gonna get this one as well. Zeus just single-handedly dismantling CLG.
Yeah, FNS is just, you're stuck there like, well, who do I feed to? Zeus is going to see this. Does at least kill Zeus, so that's a step in the right direction. He does have the bomb. He's got not much time though. Again, you have no idea where people have pushed to by this point. They're not in just normal spots. It's hard to play back into these situations no matter what, so you're just hoping that something works for you. But yeah, it looks like Gambit is starting to feel confident as well. Zeus having rounds like this, that's what you want to see from this man. He became a bit of a powerhouse, not just, you know, the tactician or, you know, the tactical mind on occasion. No, he's certainly got a bit of muscle to the way he plays, but nice read from FNS so far. He could actually maybe get past Mo here. This is timing dependent, literally. Who looks from what side? Yeah. You had one shot to try and do something, doesn't work out for you. Done and dusted.
One shot, one opportunity.
Screw an M&M, you know, that's literally what I do.
That's twice now in this day.
I know what you mean.
No, I like it. But yeah, as you said, like, if Zeus can step up his individual level, do rounds like this, they have Hobbit right now. I think he's well above 10 kills and only died once or twice. If they have those, like, of course, Hobbit, as you would expect, 10-1, see, and then Mo with 9-2 as well. And then Zeus stepping out also. They're fine.
It's just, yeah, I'm waiting to see CLG have that one player, right? Like, for me, there's three potentials to do it. Ricky, Kusta, or Ethan. And no one's quite there yet. That name!
Money!
What's that? Ricky, Ethan, and FNS just get absolutely nuked out. Hobbit just, he knows what's happened. He's like, let me get
And Zeus just wants it as well.
To be fair, Gambit have been pushing out so persistently. This was the big round, remember when they found all that information from the push coming through? That's from Dozier, but if they're feeling confident that they can win out in this situation and just, you know, do work like this, you've got to start kind of believing in it. We do have a split working up towards A as well, but Mo doesn't look too fussed yet, but you can see that Finesse is getting pretty close, but now the mollies and the nades come in. Couldn't quite adjust in time, but it's Zeus and it's Hobbit and it's over. This one is, you know, at the start of the day, you wouldn't have thought that Singularity against SK Gaming is probably going to be closer than CLG up against Gambit. One thing that you pointed out there as well is of course, the information play. They play really aggressively, and I think that's off the back of their confidence in Overpass. Their CT sides are historically very, very good on this map. So if you're up against a team that you think, okay, we're probably better individually than this team, and we have a really good record of CT sides in Overpass, then you get into a situation where you just do plays like this. And if it constantly works and you aren't punished, you can just keep on doing it. And that's the problem right now I'm seeing for CLG, because they're not punishing. Oh, this could be a nice hit. I'm wondering if this is like the smoke molly hit. That's a beautiful opener. There it is. The mollies start to come in. These are some of the hits I love to watch. The Astralis hit almost towards that B side. Something that they kind of made themselves, but Hobbit at least hinders some of the approach. But instantly Ethan is there. Zeus though round the back. Why is no one watching this? They've been dying to Zeus in this spot so often, and now Mo gets played in but misses the shot. Ricky comes alive, and we're down to a 3v2. There are some awkward moments, and Ricky is making the most of it. You missed one shot, I'll make the most on the next. Don't you worry. Zeus now has to back away. He gave away his position earlier. Gonna try and find maybe a new approach, something to work with. Bomb will go down, and the three players remaining for CLG are left scratching their head going, how did this work? Actually, let's not ask these questions. Let's just enjoy it while it works. Yeah, that's the one thing, like, I think it's so beautiful in CS where you can take a whole round and then take it down to one shot. That missed op shot caused them to lose that round completely. Because if they got that, then they would have been in a situation where they could probably retake. Ricky would probably not have gotten the second shot as well. And that's, I think, one of the beauties of CS, where everything comes down to one individual action. And in this time, it works out for CLG. Zeus is going to maybe get another exit here. Ethan is actually not going to allow it. They're going to rotate the other way. That's smart. They really don't lose out on that AWP or anything at this moment. You know, CLG is still pretty low down on the cash. So you should be able to get this AWP in a way, yeah, perfectly fine. So kept that alive for Gambit in the next coming rounds. But, you know, some of these rounds have been quite close. So the money's not completely robust either way. But for CLG, finally a bit of I guess, a breath of fresh air. Finally getting that round under your belt, a good round as well. Capitalizing on the mistakes that Gambit have been making on not necessarily a regular basis, but there have been mistakes and they haven't been punished. They've got away with it a lot. So this is where things are starting to get a little bit more interesting in the fact that we actually might have a game on our hands. CLG might have found a little bit of an answer here, but I'm wondering what's the instant response now coming out from Gambit, because now it's for them. You know, it's their turn to change things up. Oh, what? What?
That's like how I look when I play like ESEA. That's not how Zeus looks.
CSGO challenges me in so many ways when it does things like this. It's just like, why? Why did you do this, Smoke? Zeus is kind of screwed now. He has to back away from this. He can't hold underpass as well as he'd want to. That's going to leave a player isolated as well. Mo goes down. Maybe a lack of communication because Kusta instantly capitalizes, pushes through, good flash, and now Zeus is under pressure.
See here's Zeus on the bomb side. FNS picking one up. That's a Dren going down. Zeus gets the first one. Molotov goes down on the side and Kusta onto... And now 4v2. Retake is probably not going to be on the cards here if the bomb gets planted because Doja and Hobbit, what can they do here really?
I think we've just found the answer to that. Doja swept aside so quickly. Hobbit now just sat in smoke like, please don't find me. Leave me alone. I'm happy here. I don't need any friends. Exactly. I'm just gonna go out for a walk. All right, just leave me alone. Kusta, go away. But
I don't want to be friends with you, Kusta.
No,
Come on.
You don't want to be friends with everyone. Now, Hobbit's going to be able to find it. I don't think anyone's going to be able to find it. No, actually, there's a couple of players pushing through underpass, so maybe Cutler's going to hear something here. But at the end of the day, CLG, as said, finally getting a bit of a break in this. You look how that started off. And if you feel if maybe Zeus had more control, if he maybe communicated he was falling back, and then there wasn't that player kind of left on his own who got caught out, a lot of things went wrong and it spiraled. But credit to CLG again for making the most of that.
Yeah, and that's something that, like I was giving 5-4 a couple of rounds ago, not capitalizing on this, and they've started doing that, and now they also started coming back into the game. So it's a good sign for them to deliver maybe a more exciting second half coming into this, as we are in round number 12 now. So, but if they can continue to grind this out, because it's going to be a grind. Gambit are not going to give it away for free, and this is a very important round. We have the full buy round coming in for both teams now. Mo with the AWP.
That's a nice little early aggression. You can see them wanting to kind of pinch on it as well, but they're going to fall back now, Gambit. It's the first time they've really been pressured on this too. So again, reset the pace, fall back, just take a new breath towards this. There's no need to commit or overcommit to anything.
And that is the correct choice.
And we're seeing the double up on the T side here. So Ricky and Kusta going for this one. So far, Kusta's had a bit of a quieter game, I guess, overall. Ricky did have that explosive 2 kills. That really changed everything pretty much from then on. But at this point, we'll see how they play into this one now, CLG. They've got a little bit of control. They've got some play towards the map. See if they can do everything right this time without Gambit allowing mistakes to happen.
Seeing Gambit right now playing 2 players towards long A and no one even looking towards short A, which is kind of a gamble, and leaving that whole part of the map up to CLG's control if they want to take it, but now rotating slowly back as Kusta comes in. And this is all on CLG now, what they want to do. And they have 4 smokes, so a full execute is still on the cards here, and it could be towards A, and they have smokes to block off everything.
So, look at it this way, you've got Dren towards long, holding that one pretty close. He doesn't have an AWP or anything, that's obviously on Mo, for now who's playing the site. Now support's on the way as well. Mo going to take up the mantle, hold long down. Might have spotted a pixel, no, I think he just missed out, and Ricky holds the angle down. Mo just falls by the wayside. Still a player on long though, they've got to be meticulous. A Dren, he drops the ball, what's going on? Cutler gets the complete best of him, and now Zeus gets swept aside. A good hit from CLG, but again, mistakes from Gambit allowing this to happen, and I just don't understand how many rounds this can happen for Gambit. You look at a team who certainly looks rusty, who looks behind the ball a little bit for themselves, but they're still up 8-3, soon to be probably 8-4, but still, you've got to feel if they're that little bit sharper, this game would be a lot worse for CLG.
Yeah, and also the fact that this game so far has pretty much come down to if CLG can punish the mistakes of Gambit. In the last couple of rounds, they have not, because Gambit are making mistakes every single round. It's just a question of if CLG can do something about it, and right now they are, and it's working out perfectly for them. Doja and Hobbit saving. And there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. It's such a sloppy game from both, which is surprising. I expect it from Gambit. This is fine from them. Like, I know that people will probably be sitting there, flaming them for making a couple of individual mistakes and errors, but they are coming back in from a break. You just need to get yourself regimented again, and this is something that's fine if you're in their position. But considering that CLG are meant to be a team in one of their higher points, I kind of expected a bit more, especially on this map. This was a map that's always notoriously good for CLG, especially the individuals they have. I just wanted to see a little bit more from them. It's still early. You know, Gambit does have a notoriously good CT side, so everything into conclusion, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world for CLG. I just wanted to see a little bit more from them.
Yeah, if they can get 2 or 3 rounds more on this T side, then I think they'll be happy. But the question is if they can get it. Right now, I think this one is probably one of the best chances because, as you can see right now, of course, Doja is the only one with real weaponry because he saved in that last round, and the rest of the guys buying up, of course, the Deagles and the CZ75s to hold close range. And this is a real chance for CLG to get on 5 and then build on that because, as I said, if they can get 6 or 7, they're happy for this T side.
Yeah, that's perfectly respectable. No matter how you do it, you just want to see that number. But they've got to keep it together. They've got to play this smart. Double up again. It's fine for now. You got to feel. I always hate having an AWP against pistols though, because you always just feel you could just get rushed down or something horrible is going to happen. You're just like, really? I've just lost that much money because the pistol just ran at me. And it happens more often than not as well.
That's where you have to trust your teammates 100% to have your back, because when you're on AWP, you cannot like hold every single angle as you can try to do with an AK. You have to focus on one bit, and that's where teamwork and structure comes into play. And now, take towards the A side, Executor coming in, boost from the CTs, but there's not a lot for them to do. Let's see if Zeus can do anything.
Ooh, Zeus finally lands that shot. He only has a pixel to work with, bearing in mind, but a valid one nonetheless. Going to weaken the numbers as the bomb does go down. Anything they get here is a benefit, considering they only had pistols and very limited amounts to work with. Zeus still with the M4. He does have armor to supplement that now, of course. The bomb's planted. CLG don't look too fussed at the moment. Got to be careful, though. That would be a big loss. If they drop the ball here, this could be a problem. And Zeus! He explodes onto this Kusta. Ricky go down. Fineslo going to hold this one together. It's still a 2v2, and they do have a kit as well. There, finally that gets removed. It's Cutler to keep it together. Adren trying to just ensure that nothing's going to go wrong. And there, finally, he does go. And I'm curious why he went for that and just didn't just run away with the AWP.
Exactly, because he had an AWP. It's fair if you have a CZ75.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? Give it a try.
But when you have an AWP, then you shouldn't challenge in a 1v2 when the bomb is that far in. So might just that split-second decision making the wrong decision. It's very hard to imagine the kind of stress a player sits in that situation, and sometimes you just make bad mistakes when you look over the demos when you go home.
Well, that round went from, yeah, we're not going to do anything, to Zeus finding 2 kills, and you're like, oh, we actually might win this. All right, we've got time to go. He's probably sat there on long like, I've got an ult, I've done well, I'm perfectly happy. Now not the case. There's Ricky again, going to find Mo, so his opposite number, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, gone down. AWP now recovered into Hobbit's hands, and I like watching Hobbit AWP, if I'm honest. I actually quite like to see him on this, but I know Mo is very, very diligent on this map. You know, when he, I guess when he kind of first kicked off into this position, when he first joined this sort of collective, he was one of the players that had a real explosive potential, but we've never seen that really come through or become consistent, which has always kind of been a curious factor, but still. For that later, 5v4 as we speak. Cutler clearing out underpass again. No one there this time. We'll see where the last remaining players for Gambit are. As Kusta waits to see if anyone jumps slightly further. Wouldn't put it past him to hit that shot, but he doesn't. Gives away a little of the game, but he had to give it a good, valiant attempt. And Ethan slowly closing in as we speak.
Smoked up's down. Not exactly sure if that's the bait smoke or it's just a missed one, because it's not perfect. See Cutler coming in towards the bomb site. Opens up, but Hobbit, as you said, with the AWP, just takes her head straight off Cutler. And now it's on to Ricky here with his AWP. Sees the edge, sees the... Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Such a tease, just the tip. That's all Ricky gets. Now Dren waiting for the push. Oh, Kusta! That's what I'm talking about. Finally, we get to see a bit of Kusta coming alive. This is the AWP round, apparently. And now Ricky wants a bit of it as well. He's seen what's going on. Everyone else is having fun. Where's my go at it? Ricky's still pushing in. One player as well over by Truck. He's still alive in this one. Hobbit's still there. FNS goes down. It's down to Dozier and Hobbit to play this one back in, and they're giving it a good go. Dozier gets up close. Ricky still is the crosso. They have no utility to deny this. Ooh, Ricky! If you'd hit that, my friend. And now Hobbit knows where he is. Dozier's going to push slightly further forward. Kusta. Oh,
that is beautiful.
I love it. More of this. I absolutely love watching these guys go off. He even spots the other player, which is Hobbit. Now, Hobbit really can't make it out of this one all that easily. Wherever you go, there's a man watching you, and it'll be Ethan to shut it down. But what an explosive round from the AWPs. Love watching that. Everything just looking good at the moment for those guys. At least they're starting to come alive here.
Yeah, and they need Kusta to come alive, because so far on the AWP side of things, it's pretty much only been Ricky for the CLG side. And this time we see him a lot. He has a very, very hard situation there. But then Kusta comes back and drops the 3K with the AWP. And that's exactly what they need to get these last couple of rounds and get this momentum.
Spicy.
That is spicy.
You know what? Jason Moses O'Toole will download this demo. He'll sit at home with a nice scotch in hand and just watch it back and mull over it all. All right, Ricky, it's your time. I want to see something from you, Ricky, because to be fair, when he picked up the AWP as well on the T side, it actually started to work very well for them. And CLG have definitely recovered, bearing in mind they had a very, very slow start to this. They've got right back into it. A far better game being shown here now from at least CLG's side, punishing Gambit once that break came in of the economy. And their money's been a little bit shoddy, a little bit on the ropes. We'll see if this can continue. Zeus and Adren having to deal with this one. Never easy. It's still a bit of a sloppy buy.
And this game has been quite interesting, or this first half, because at first it was very Gambit, like dominating every single time, even though they made mistakes. CLG couldn't capitalize. And then CLG came back, and now they're kind of dominating and controlling the pace, because now they've found themselves on this D side. They found out how to use that double up setup. And Adren close range with the Max 7 might change everything, though. This is the last round of the first half.
Yeah, Ethan, good controlling shot towards Zeus. Can't follow up comfortably, though. That's actually Mo coming in as well towards FNS. This is becoming a bit problematic here. Nice little bait on the flash, but Kusa's still there. He knows the bomb's down and it's a little bit dangerous, but will he swap Mo on the way out? Oh, catches a glimpse. Good read from him, though.
The timings on the AWPs.
Would you expect 3 players in underpass right now? This molly could be perfect. Molly's going to force him off. That's great. Little do you know what it's done, but it will do wonders. So it's Kusa and Ricky to play this one out. Mo's still up close. He could hear this. They're ahead of the flash, that's fine. Gets one, but it plays in the play by the stairs. And no, they can't do it. It's Dozier. And Kusa can't achieve it either. A very close half in the end. That looked like a runaway game to start with.
Very important that Gambit come in and close this half as well, because for confidence and just for the whole mental game coming into the second half, if they win the pistol now, they have the mental upper hand. And they have the upper hand, of course, but with them being the better team and having the lead and being on that T side where they can control the pace. So very important for them to win this last round. And they come in 9-6 is the first half. And it looked like maybe a one-sided game in the first couple of rounds here, but this game has gone back and is starting to deliver now.
Yeah, I want to see how this kind of flips around, because for me, it's always Gambit with those CT sides are so hard to break. They are very, very good. And you always feel that, you know, the AWPing style that you can see Hobbit have can be very, very good. And he didn't actually have it much. He was kind of, I think he only ever picked it up when it was actually dropped over, or it was already down. But still, I want to see how this kind of transfers, and when we switch sides, of course. I think that's where things get a little bit more interesting, things get a little bit more fun at that point for me. Again, CLG eventually recovered. You've got to feel there was a couple of rounds that were unfortunate for them, a couple of, you know, unforced errors and a couple of forced errors as well. So they got punished for both at these points. And that, man, I want to see him start really shine. I want to see this guy go off with that AWP again, because some of the stuff he's been doing, you saw that shot on towards the side that was just so crisp. I need some of that.
Yeah. And also, as you mentioned, like Hobbit, I could imagine him being on that T-side AWP going for aggressive plays. And if we can have a situation where it's going to be Hobbit and Kusta jumping into the same AWP peak and just trying to duel each other, that would be perfect.
These are the things we dream of. We are sad humans.
We are allowed to dream as well, Lauren. We are human beings.
It's true. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Alright. No memes here. Cutler gonna spot out one on towards long. And already, Gambit on the T side, taking over toilet control. You've still got a player as well, just holding the rotate, which is Hobbit. So just ensuring that they can't find full info, they can't do the full rotate off the back of it. And it's a really nice piece. It's kind of like your default with a heavy lean towards A. It's just a nice way of playing this one out. You're gonna take the long way through. Have they gone through underpass? I'm not sure if they have at this point.
They have a lot of map control, that's what they have. As they have been posted up pretty aggressively. Cutler winning the duel though, and that's the one thing that some teams continue to do, is that taking long-range duels with Glock against USPs, and that's almost never going to go your way if you're the Glock player.
No, and now time's becoming an issue, because there could have been that rotate around the back. You see Hobbit actually go all the way back over towards B. He ran all the way around, and he's come right back down towards water. So there's very limited information, I guess, for Gambit at this point.
So now Hobbit is faking, and they're going to go A in a few seconds.
Yeah, Ethan going to be taking all the attention, playing in, I believe that's Kusta just off to his left. It is. Just bending over the barrels, and now finally a bit of a pressure play begins. Cutler removed, that's a nice hit. Finally bringing those Glocks to range, and Ricky does get what? He got the first as well. He got Zeus down there. I don't know if he even meant to do that. But this has been a very weird round. They kind of tentatively pushed eventually towards A. No one really giving them much. Obviously, Cutler's first frag certainly helped down. There it is, shut down the end by Ethan.
Really nice CT hold, but I have to say, Gambit allowed them to get so many shots off with those USPs, and it's not supposed to look like that. Ricky actually missed a bunch of shots before hitting this magical one. That is insane. But you have to take in mind that he missed 6 or 7 bullets before that. So,
But isn't that just the USP to like a T, right? It's all the way like you miss like everything, and then suddenly you just railgun.
Yeah, hit a
3 people
magic
down. It's
shot.
like,
Yeah.
how has this happened? Why does this gun only work sometimes?
Yeah, that's what I think that Gambit could have done differently, because they should have been able to get into a position where they can punish him, or at least make him rotate back instead of having him be open and take shots continually. So right now, FAMAS buys. The FAMAS are outnumbering the UMPs. I like this.
As much as people were very vocal about the updates to the UMP, and they're like, oh, that's not changed anything. Well, we have actually seen a big change in them being bought, them not being bought up as much. They're still there because you'll normally get the one player who buys the UMP, a lot of utility, and then the others will now actually go to rifles. So it's a nice adjustment. I hope to see it continue. As much as I love UMPs, I don't.
I love FAMASs more. Let's be real.
I actually like the Galil
It's a beautiful weapon.
It's completely useless, the Galil, but I like the way it sounds sometimes. Just, useful facts for me right now. 4v4 though, and of course Gambit's money is not looking great at this point, but it doesn't seem to matter because Dozier, god of many a thing, and the Deagle is now 1. Adren gonna find FNS, and now the site's looking a little vulnerable. And they can actually push up on this, get some bank control. Adren, they're gonna go straight down, like it. Very hard play back into this now. Need a quick frag, they need to even out. That's what you want from Ethan, but then Adren instantly comes through, and now Ethan is just sweating bullets.
Yeah, he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, to be honest, there, and he gets taken out, and Gambit get back to stabilize, and now it's, the ball is in their court. They can now control this, and being in the lead, being on the T side, I think this is, of course, thinking about overpass and Gambit's great CT sides, but to be honest, they're also a team that likes to dominate, and sometimes it's easier to dominate a game if you're on that T side where you decide that pace. And with the buy they have right now coming up against what they have to know is a forced pistol buy, or like a bit stronger pistol buy, they know exactly what they're going to do.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. I would say I know so by now.
Hobbit there, just going to be with the MAC-10, UMP as well with Dozier, the rest on rifles. So, should be quite a walk in the park, if I'm honest. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, unless they get sloppy or complacent. Ricky's hoping for that, really, at this point. Hoping that maybe they don't check. He got someone off guard, and they actually jump into it, but it works out in the end. It's fine so far, a little bit damaged, a little bit wounded. But they are the walking wounded, so it's not the end of the world. Smoke goes in towards bank, the bomb to follow, and FNS just hoping right now. Again, it's all just that hope that someone doesn't check well enough or doesn't fully commit towards it, and I find an angle, and he does. That's one. Reload comes in. We've seen what MBK can do with this TZ recently. If you've been watching any of their games, and FNS wants a bit of the action too. Brings it all back. Another isolated player towards long. Finally supports here, but by this point, it's looking a little bit dangerous.
And he's forced out by that Molotov, and that's pixel perfect. Adren picks up the last 2. I have to agree with you there. That was really, really nice work coming in with that CZ75, and that's why that weapon is still so dangerous, because
coming back in.
It's coming back in. It's kind of like the Deagle, just on a bit of a shorter scale, because we had to, of course, as everyone knows, the CZ75 AWP era with JW and all those guys, and
Flusher with the CZ in those era.
With that entire team. That entire team.
It was horrific.
Yeah. And now it's kind of coming back. I really like the CZ75 for close angle situations, or medium in the position where you can just dance back and forth like that, and obviously it works out. And now full eco.
Oh, this could be interesting though. There's every single player along, and actually they're going towards it. The bomb's there just around the corner, taking a little bit of an individual fight.
They have to hold the weapons.
Be careful here. Yeah, they do, but FNS is going to at least find one. This is a great round for these guys. Ethan, 2 for himself as well. Ethan, what is that shot? Just tapping down Dozier to 5 HP. He's got himself an AK, but no armor, so it's a little tough here.
But still, this is doable here.
Even the monetary value they've done from this, because they didn't have any investment.
Already now, this is a round win, technically, for CLG. 3 kills with no investment whatsoever against fully bought up, 4 bought up AKs and one Uzi. That's pretty much a fair win. But he has a chance to either save or go for it, and he's saving right now. And that is obviously the correct choice here.
What?
Or does Ethan think that...
Ethan?
I don't know if he's just playing with our
I hope he's just messing with us there.
Yeah.
And just like playing it off now,
but still wasting a Molotov. Well, of course you could expect someone to be in that position. No, you can't. Actually, no, you can't. He just wasted a Molotov.
Yeah, that's what. That was the thing that made me like wonder. Like he came into that like with the molly, and why use it if you didn't expect it to be that? I don't know.
That was just weird.
Like. Alright, it's fine, Ethan. Don't worry. You did really well in the round.
So
we'll ignore the end. We'll ignore the end and just look at the start of it. That's the important part. Brilliant round for CLG, considering what they had and what they made of it in the end. But all said and done, it's still 12 rounds for Gambit here.
Yeah, and this is where it gets dicey, so to say, because if Gambit wins this one, they're on 13, and CLG's money is not going to allow them to buy straight back to this. That means they're probably going to get on 14 as well. So, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes you can take a round and cook it to one action, and also in a game you can cook it down to one round, and this is now, I think.
Oh, Kusta, I was about to say, like, he wasn't even watching for that playground push instantly. He waited just that second, but he almost became vulnerable to it because he had no one else there watching on long. But well played to him, feeling out the game well, going to find that first frag towards Adren, so that's a good advantage to have into your favor, into your pocket. Now Gambit are going to have to operate with 4 players.
See, and missing so much utility, that's a big problem, because there is more than a minute remaining and they only have 1 smoke and Molotov, and that's on Ethan. So that means there's a complete bomb site without any form of blockage if the terrorist decides to come in. And that's not good, let's just put it like that.
Nice shot with finesse.
They have the firepower though.
Yeah, they do. Not being particularly pressured in any other way either, so... Doesn't even put... It's a weird way of playing this one through. He does have an angle. Dozier?
Yeah.
Dozier?
That's just Dozier things.
Just Dozier things. It's fine. Look, I'm not going to doubt it worked. That's the thing. Like, as long as it works, I can't say a single word. Cutler, they're in a good position.
Exactly.
He
can come in the back of the bomb right now, and he's getting so much information as well. Look at this.
I wonder if he's going to hear this. It doesn't matter if he hears it or not. He knows what's happening now.
He's heard the AWP, and now he has the bomb as well.
So well done.
That's a round.
Yeah, Dozier did well to even find that kill early with that smoke. Very nice, but only 1 kill to come from it. And a little bit of stabilizing moments there coming out.
Yeah, and I had the fear that if Gambit was going to take this round, they would run away with the game. But now, that fear is not real anymore because CLG is just stabilized. And as you said, did you see that shot I made? That was ridiculous. But yeah, as you said, like in the beginning of this, Cutler is one of these, in my opinion, very underrated players because he fills in roles and does things that the others aren't really like doing, and he's playing a very clever style. And we saw that in this round as well, playing for the information, getting the bomb down and pretty much winning the round.
Ooh, Kusta's feeling brave. Through the fire and the flames, he does find the frag. Dozier falls by the wayside. We have a 5v4. Gambit now. You're going to try and make a quick hit or try and slow down the pace? Let's see what they go for. They put all their eggs in the one basket of going B. They have no map control elsewhere. That's the problem. If they play it back, they've got to commit a lot of utility and a lot of time. So it kind of almost encourages them to go towards B. But Kusta already adjusting, waiting for that next position to come through to play, falling back towards site. Smoke comes in. Ooh, he just turns away from the flash. The smoke's actually going to allow the T-side straight through towards water. Oh! Kusta, show me what you're made of. That is perfect. Nice play towards a trend, but eventually get overwhelmed. It's a 2v2, so credit to Gambit for pulling it back to this situation.
Let's see it. The wise choice would to go for an opening here, and if you don't get that opening, just pretty much save up because Ricky still has that AWP. It's very hard to retake a side with that. And I'm looking for it, trying to use that utility to make one of the terrorists peek out too wide and make a mistake, but it's not looking likely right now. They're still going for it, and whoa, okay, what? Close range orb, Ricky, that's not supposed to happen, and it happens! Kotler and Zeus as well, and they make that 2v2 happen, Lauren. That was not supposed to go down like that.
No, because in the back of Gambit's mind, surely it got to that point where you're like, all right, they're saving, or oh, they're not going for this, or they're just looking for exits. They just got that in the nick of time as well. Whoa. Like Kusta as well. This shot was nice. It was just the one when he fell back and it's just they'd pushed through. And I like this from Gambit. Like, they put down the smokes to allow them to make this kind of weird route that they kind of cut around. It's a really nice approach. But in the end, the AWPs, again, just keep CLG alive in this. Between Ricky and Kusta, they're doing great work on this.
I agree. Forcing Gambit onto a Tech 9 force, or Tech 9 buy here. Kusta going for that aggressive peek. Doesn't see anyone. In the meanwhile, Gambit have taken map control over the connector area now. Once again, allying up towards a B push, but nothing's decided so far. Right now, they're just taking the map control of the areas that the CTs aren't controlling, but nice peek from Ricky. Doesn't land the shot, though. Does the damage.
Got nade.
Oh, there it is. Kobe.
Ricky looking for more. Wall banging through, hoping for the best. He knows the hit's going to follow. The shadow gives away the game as well. Gambit try and make the hit happen, but it's just not going to work out as FNS yet to be challenged and still stands tall by those barrels. And burning alive, Zeus can strike no one down this time. Ricky runs in, and it's a good game thus far from CLG. Finally stabilizing, getting those double orbs up into practice. But again, we wait for that big buy from Gambit to come through so they can challenge us out finally.
It's kind of like the opposite of the first game, where we had an insane first half coming in and then SK started dominating in the second half. This one looked, of course, the first half wasn't like, it was still a good half, but this second half from CLG is looking very, very nice. You can see Zeus, he's not happy about the situation.
Well, it's their timeout. It's time to talk, I can imagine. So, discuss what's working, how to fix it, how do we approach this off the back. Yeah, not too long to discuss, but certainly required. You don't allow this game to spiral away. As much as, you know, CLG haven't had the perfect beginning in this game in any way, shape, or form, when they start to come alive, we've seen what they can do. So you don't allow that confidence to build. So already, for one factor, lower the momentum down a little bit for them. Take that pause, slow it down a second, ease away from it. Take a little bit of time to just kind of, you know, get yourselves back into the game as well. You see the coach there behind them just having a chat.
Yeah, exactly. Because the coach is so important in this. This is where he kind of shines, because he has so little time to get all the information that he has gathered throughout this game, to get that across to the players and serve it in a way that he knows they can use to win rounds. And that's why I think coaching is so important right now in CS, as we said before, because the level is so high, every team is so strong, and that coach can sometimes be that difference. And you don't have a lot of time. It's kind of like in Formula 1, where you go into pit stop, you have a few seconds. This is, of course, longer than a few seconds, but it's still, compared to the time that they have, the coach has to be on point every single time.
Yeah, they're going to come in with only a bit of a very weak buy in comparison, but bearing in mind one of the rounds they actually did win was with that Deagle still in play. They're still a lot more behind it than just what they've got in this round, though. So, again, Kusta going to get it started well. Cutler there is a supplementing factor. Adren's going to fall, and so far a nice 5v3. No real threat on the board thus far, but a little bit of control building for the T side, but not too much at all. Always feels like it could be reasserted by the CLG side if they wanted it, but still, Zeus with that Deagle. We know there's damage to be achieved if he fancies it.
And I'm pretty sure that the round, that what they were talking about in that break there, is not this round we're seeing right now for Gambit. This is the next, the full buy round. That's where they're going to come off with something a bit different, and where they're going to try to take the game back in their favor. This is just a round they need to get over with, see what kind of damage they can do, and they're caught up in the beginning, and now it's a 3v5 against full buy. Maybe Hobbit could come in, but no.
Yeah, just Ricky watching the very edge of that smoke, and the other two players going to try and make their way through on short. If they can get a bomb down, that'd be pretty nice. I doubt it's going to happen. Zeus, 7 HP and a Dream. Let's see. Yeah, Dreams are shattered. Probably not. He's probably...
They're hacked, you know, Lauren.
Wow. Wow. Oh. Oh. Why are you like this?
I don't know, man.
I can't help it. But 12 to 11, this is the round we want to see. This is what Gambit should have been, you know, theory crafting about the approach, because you know, CLG are right back on the door. It's 12 to 11. The game looked a little one-sided at the start. I almost said that, well, I did say the SK game against Singularity might have been closer if it kept going the way it was, but it stopped. CLG have found a route back in, and if you're CLG, you try something different to throw off Gambit, and they've done just that. They've gone hyper-aggressive. Look at Cutler. What are you doing, Cutler? I don't understand what is up with you right now. When you go for that shot, you have the lineup. Don't know if his mouse went off the mouse mat or something happened there, because he really fluffed his line to perfect angle. He had the drop on one, but now Gambit have a fight back into this. Goose has got to be so careful. He can't make noise. He knows that they'll hear it if he zooms out, zooms in. Players already through on party, though, and that's Adren. Big kill comes through. Now Ethan, very isolated, going to try and find a way back from this. He does have a SWAT system with him, actually, which I think is finessed. It is.
See here, 4v3. Terrorist, of course, in advantage, and now also trying to take this bomb site. Smokes, of course, has to be on point now, blocking up the rotation, coming in from the third CT. And Ethan's position here might be key, because he's a bit more aggressively posted than you would normally expect. Let's see what he can make of it. Grenade comes in, catches the first one. Second one should be coming in for the revenge right now, but the frag comes in from the bomb site. Ethan with one, and no more. Zeus and Mo. 2v1 against Ricky, and this is where I would like for him to save.
But Ricky goes for things.
And I said it before, but that round they actually won in that 2v2. Yeah. I would like them to save it, and they won it. So my argument doesn't mean anything, because if they can win rounds, then I don't want to say anything.
He needs a step though. He needs to find one of these two players, even if he just draws a shot or something, so he can then maybe predict where the crossfire's been set. But yeah, this is running out of time now. He does have a kit, but no easy kill being given over. And there it is. Shut down by Mo in the end, no problem. But him holding up on long, and that's pretty much it. It would have been nice if he maybe kept that up, but yeah, it seems like he wants to go for these things.
Yeah. Also, it's fair to go for a 1v2 if you have an AK, and if you have a kit, you have some utility, you can do something. But if you have an AWP and you 1v2, look at it. That
I don't know if he heard a play. I don't know what happened. Like, it looked like a little bit of a brain meltdown, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh god, what have I done? But it looked like he almost slipped off his mouse or something, because he saw the player run up and then he adjusted. I don't know, it was very weird from him there. Bit of a shame, because that could have been so perfect. That kind of ruined the aggression they went for. And I like the idea from CLG.
Exactly.
After the timeout, when the buy comes in, try something completely different, throw off Gambit. Sadly, it didn't work for them. They lost down 2 of the players, and obviously Gambit got the advantage, but could have been different. I like this spot though from FNS.
Yeah, off angle, as we talked about on the first map, something that Luki was very good at, and now it's FNS here in connected, not a place that you usually spot. Of course, you're going to see him if you go up, and Zeus is spotting, of course, for the normal angles, and this could be the making. Kusta actually also coming in now, so they will have to focus on Kusta because they know he's there with an AWP. He can always have that presence. That might open it up for FNS. Yes, nice. It does.
And there's another player in Underpass as well. I didn't even see them at the start because they're on top of each other. But by now, Gambit are down to 3 players. We've got Modozier and Adrens trying somehow stitch this back together. But then again, CLG have almost they had no one on A. They had 4 players alive and no one directly on A. All the others from CLG kind of backed away from this through Underpass. So again, Gambit get a shot because they can probably get a bomb plant and decent after plant positions. They don't know this, obviously. But it's going to be a very nice realization. Good angle from Adren there. Just going to sit himself down. Bomb goes in. Let's see these afterplants from Gambit. Mostly focusing towards long there. So 2 players up on long. Maybe just going to play to the AWP there as well. And it's retake time for CLG. They do have so much utility on play, so that's perfect. And oh, a missed shot from Dozier. That's going to be heartbreaking. That should have been his all day of the week. And now Mo's now very vulnerable. Left, right, and center. Player behind, though, does die at bank, but there again, FNS. Time now ticking. Adren has got to go God mode here. A 1v3 planted just in front. He's got to play this off somehow. And they all line up for him, but no. That would have had to been absolutely perfect if he wanted it. It's not the case. Fuse comes out, and CLG win the retake.
That whole round from CLG, I like that so much, because first off, you go for that boost down in connector. That works out really well, especially when you coordinated together with Kusta going for the aggressive peek on Shulk. He then rotates back and hold it. But then the decision to place one guy, like, go out all the way on long and just wait for it, and then the rest of the team plays retake together, that's just perfect, because usually, as you said, the bomb side is completely open. This is a very weird situation, but it's because they're playing this retake, because they have that guy on long and they can all retake from the other positions. And I actually love teams who make that decision to play retake before it all happens, because you can be so coordinated.
But I don't know if they can do it now. They've got 2 AWPs, right? It's
something you do in special situations when you're not running double AWP.
Yeah, this becomes a bit of a limited, I guess a little bit limited edition, right? Not a bad thing. Nice to see it. But now you got to be careful again. Gambit do have, even though a lesser buy, they still have some potential up on this one. Gusta falling a little bit further back. Doesn't want to allow that AWP to fall into anyone's hands easily. Got to make them work for it. And already CLG do take over the toilet control, but have no step towards any of the other side of the map, so information can be found nice and quickly. And Kusta again, asserting early dominance, and Cutler now expecting to be played in off the back of this. 2 players just waiting around the corner. Timing is going to be everything on this, and he gets a perfect timing on it. Even gets the follow-up as well. Nicely done from Cutler. Spots out the bomb. All in good shape.
Yeah. And now, Zeus and Hobbit, the last 2 remaining for Gambit, and well, they're probably going to beat Cutler here. Actually, Cutler goes down. So there's a chance here, but it's a fragile hope.
And I think FNS is still over by B, so even if they tried to back off of long, run through underpass, do something a little bit, spicy, you're still going to get spotted. Even if they get the kill, information would pass over. So nicely done from CLG, kind of covering their bases. But again, a recovered gun for Zeus there, and a kill as well. There we go, Ethan gets the AWP back.
Okay, Lauren, last time these 2 teams played, it was 14-16. Now we're going to see the same scoreline. I think it was on, last time they played was on Cobblestone at Starland, I'm pretty sure. Now it's 14-16. And that's where CLG took the victory and ended that. Is it going to be 14-16 again? It's looking pretty close.
I'm more just curious as to if Alex is going to be right on the desk. Halvor has gone for the straight up Gambit pick. He doesn't care. He's like, no, these guys. Alex, he's a dreamer, he loves it. He loves a good storyline. Yeah. He loves a good underdog. He's gone right in there, like CLG in good form. Gambit off a holiday, definitely not the underdogs.
He's buying it. He's buying the whole pitch.
He buys in. All right, so at the end of the day, Machine could be the best analysis. I'm ignoring Pimp because he also could be right, but it's fine. Just going to pitch these 2 against each other. But no, for now, it's actually a very close game. 13-13, we are back into this. Gambit was struggling for money for quite some time. They finally have A weird enough buy, 3 rifles, 2 Tech 9s, fair touch of utility. So this could throw him off a bit. Ricky straight in there though. Adren gets away with his life, but barely. 22 HP, that rifle is surely going to be dropped off to Hobbit or maybe Zeus or someone and just switch it up. But he sticks on this, so again, interesting choice.
I would like to see them do, of course, an execute and a setup for one of the bomb sites, but then have a lot of speed behind it, because I think that's where these Tech 9s can be really nice, and also you can surprise a double op setup.
Exactly, you can punish this. You can overwhelm one, put one into a retake position, makes it incredibly uncomfortable. If they fall back with both of them alive, retakes with 2 orbs is so tough. So again, I don't think there's a downside. I think you play to your strengths, but we'll see if maybe Gambit do go for something as a collective. Oh,
wow.
Ricky. Lovely work towards Mo, and I don't know if he spotted Adren and then just kind of adjusted off it, or if he was just kind of pre-aiming towards that area anyway. But no matter what happened, very well done. And now we look towards what Gambit left.
The bomb is in the middle.
No, that's a disaster.
Yeah, this is World War I all over again, no man's land, and that bomb is in the middle of it. And it's actually a really nice Molotov, forces him off. Then I can get the bomb, get it back.
That was very well played. Luckily, one of the players still had that molly. They had very limited amounts to work with there, so
they had a Molotov and a flashbang.
And look, it worked. So that's it at the end of the day. But CLG playing very close to the site. 2 players by the truck right now. Could be overwhelmed by those Tech 9s, possibly in the hands of maybe Zeus. Hobbit has been dropped out now to the rifle as well. That was picked up from Mo, I can imagine. So at least they keep their numbers up strong here. Ethan again, pivotal role in this position. Does find one. Nicely done. Very, very precise from Ethan. That's the shutdown you were looking for. And finally the player comes alive. I was talking about earlier. He's a bit of a rock at the moment for this team. He's not maybe one of the most, I guess you got, Kusta, really kicking off, very flair sort of style to it, very, good-looking shots that he hits, right? You know what I mean? He makes it look good. But Ethan, lovely control there. 7 bullets remaining in the clip, but he makes it count in the end. And that's the sort of thing you need, just someone to stop that even happening. Not just trading back and forth, but just a good lockdown. And that puts CLG in a great place, and another buy comes in for Gambit.
Yeah, this is the problem that Gambit are currently facing, because this is the 2nd round in a row where they've taken the decision to go for the force instead of just doing a full eco and maybe having a chance of having a full buy later on. But now they're in a position where they have nothing left to give. It's round 28, it's 14-13. And they're on a force buy. This Tech 9, if they don't win this, I think it's going to be 16-13.
Yeah, it's not the debut you want back to stage, to say the least. But nice timing on the smoke. They're going to have to go through this one. Kusta commits to the angle. Oh my word, Kusta. Are you mad? What on earth? Finds one, but he goes down. I don't know what he was expecting. Now the Tech 9's coming to their element. They come alive. Hobbit. Oh, and Dozier with a drive-by. They've recovered a gun. The hand of 4 of Dozier kicks off. And it's down to Ricky in a 1v2 to play this off. We know he loves a retake, but he's a mile away. He'll just leap in over this. Yes, he is. What is this play going on, Wrist? I don't know. No, Ricky, that's nuts. Just goes in on it, and that is perfect. That's the face you make when Ricky does that to you. Just left absolutely overwhelmed. Brilliant stuff from them in the end, but what was that round?
That made no sense, but it worked out perfectly. Look at that. Okay, the first frag is okay. He's fully flashed up. He jumps in with the AWP and just gets that frag. I was about to say that this round was actually what I wanted him to do the round before, where they had the mixed buy to go for a quick B push. Then they do it now. Like, okay, this could work out. They get the 2 frags. Dozier kicks off, and now it's 2v1. And he loses it out.
God.
Then you can't win games. Let's be real. If you don't win a 2v1 where you have the bomb and you have an AWP to long range, you're not going to win a game. Well, not against CLG.
I think Colour just spotted one, and Ricky connects towards Hobbit. This is really bad. They're going in bits and pieces here. Ethan still has shot under control, but no, he's flash, he's blind, and he lets one slip through. That's Zeus, but he still finds 2 in the end. And it's just down to Cutler here. And Mo's got the drop on him, surely. No! Cutler somehow fights through it. And it's a 1v1. Zeus, 3 kills this round. Bomb to hand against Cutler. Bomb comes in. Cutler, are you going to go full NA on us and just push smoke? No. He bides his time, but Zeus, we know what he likes to do. Cutler gives it away! No! He shoots through, he doesn't land it, and Zeus will take that with a grin on his face.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a turnaround from the last It's like everything going their way. It's like, finally.
Zeus just says no.
Yeah, it literally was a big no. Look, he doesn't even look fussed. He's like, well, no worries.
It's time to stop.
Yeah. Okay. 15-14. Game on, finally. Gambit finally bite back. Look at that just streak of blue that was coming through for CLG. They were winning this one out. Finally a little bit of life left in the Gambit side. And if they want this game even for a chance of a win, they need this round, and that's the frag you want to be seeing. Ricky goes down, and Gambit keeps their hope alive.
Kusta with the CZ75 has to push out for map control because it's going to be very hard for him to rotate, but A is completely open right now. completely open. And with smokes and molotovs being put in the right positions, Gambit gonna have this side and gonna have 5 people alive for an afterplant.
Cutler, don't dive into this. You know you've lost the sight. What are you up to, Cutler? There's no one else with you right now. He's literally all alone. He's got players literally everywhere. I don't know what he's wanting to achieve. And they're even pushing down towards bank. They finally get back into this because FNS find a Dren, but yeah, this is a rough retake now. Kusta, Ethan, and FNS. Zeus is low, Mo's a little low, but they both got AWPs, so can still be fine.
This should not be possible to retake.
Gotta have a god tier performance here, boys. Let's see what you've got, CLG. Into the breach we go, as Dozier, the first man to make contact, does have a Galil to hand, so, you know, why not put him in first? And there we go, does find one. He doesn't even need a rifle. He's fine on this. Doesn't need the AK. He can come alive on his own as FNS, and he goes down, and CLG fizzle out at the end. But Gambit, what absolute grit and determination to come back at that sort of point.
It was all on the back of that Zeus 4K.
Yep.
I started believing again, because your hopes has to be destroyed if you're in that 2v1 and losing out to Ricky in that situation. But then Zeus comes back, the moral leader of or one of the moral leaders of the team along with the Dren, comes back into it, grabs a 4K and kicks him back into gear. And then we had this where they just almost stacked that B bomb site, played information aggressive as well, and then left a bomb site completely open. And as you said, Cutler went in alone.
Which is, and for a player who plays smart normally, right? I don't molly, but yeah, well, that's a little bit of an issue. You have to play a little bit slower towards B this time. They could have been maybe wanting to get some faster towards control. Can't do it so much now. Unpassed double stacked here for CLG too.
Gets the first one surely here. Cutler shuts him down, and now Hobbit gonna come in from the other angle. The Cutler actually goes for seconds, which I don't agree with, but luckily for them, they can refrag and then it's all okay. FNS taking that one down, but Mo winning the battle against Kusta now. 2v3, of course, still in the favor of CLG, but this is doable.
Very much so. Position's going to make it hard, considering Mo does have Naught playing back into underpass. You hate losing the bomb here, because it's so hard to play back in towards. Yeah. He's going to have to hit a bit of a blinder on this. Underhand flash, fine, you can turn it. You can drop towards the side. There's opportunities, but it's not easy, it's not nice, and you have to predict exactly where this guy's going to be.
See what they decide to do. Right now they're just waiting out, making sure that the CTs aren't popping out or doing something weird, and then they try to punish them off that if they do so. And when the timer hits around like 10-15 seconds from now, they have to go for the bomb or decide to save it.
Well, let's see what the decision is. Awkward. They're going to hear these steps at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the timing of the train, doesn't really make much of a difference. And what?
Okay.
Bo finds Ricky? How is this even happening? How is that allowed? How is that to one player?
How does that come down to a 1v1?
I don't understand.
Oh.
Neither does he.
Yeah, you have the exact same thought process right there.
Yeah. But it was a CLG round. In the end, 16-15 now.
This is gearing up to be a great game.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because as much as there are mistakes, it is exciting to watch. So you're just seeing these two teams grinding this one out. Molly does work out this time, so that's going to go through towards short.
It's always good.
It does help. Kusta going for a little bit of a different angle. Flashed out, though. Just hoping that no one's pushed this. Another flash follows. Just eating these flashes up. But no one actually pushing it, so he still retains every bit of information he had before.
Very aggressive peek on long, and also a kind of aggressive peek onto short A there. And with those being the only two players, if let's say that Kusta got fragged out doing one of those flashbangs and they got the second player on short, then A would be completely open, and this is another good setup. Look at this! Oh,
How is this happening?
Kusta doesn't know.
This is so strange, but then they should be able to read this in a weird way, just because of Kusta's being able to push up by this point. If Adren dies, then it'll probably sell CLG on the fact there's going to be an A, but obviously it isn't. It is this B hit. There's still 3 players here, though, for CLG. Kusta will find Adren. That might put a little bit of a weird thought in the back of their minds, but if anything, it will encourage Gambit to now go. FNS blinded, comes back out, and those are entries you dream of. Zeus and Hobbit completely crack open the site. Now Ricky's surrounded, has to dig deep, can't do it. Only 1 to fall towards his favor, as it's a 3v2, and we know where those last 2 players are for CLG.
See Kusta, can he get the opening? That could have been the start of the retake, but he gets the second one onto Mo. And now it's a 2v2. It's very doable. Cutler coming in from behind. They both have kits and a smoke for the bomb if they want to.
Let's look at these positions as well from Dozier and Hobbit. Let's see where they're watching right now. Pulling back towards CT. Dozier gets contact on 1. Cutler wins it out, though. And now it's Hobbit. the young man, the newer addition, I guess you can still say, to Gambit out of all the others, has to make this count. Nice adjustment there. Ooh, I think he saw it, but still good connection. But he does finally shut down on the frag, and now it's Kusta. He's going to hold it.
Yeah,
he is going to hold this. 2 seconds remain. 1. He's done it. Good work from Kusta. That's the round you hope for. That's the retake you get. They lose out on it in the end with the AWP coming out, but it's fine. They get the round under the belt, and that is what you needed to see.
I just love the fact that they are in a situation where in the first 2v3, Kusta opens up, gets that frag onto the guy over towards Monster, then they decide to go for the retake. But they save a flashbang and a smoke for the defuse. That is so clutch to have that in your armory, because that was what running around really in essentials, because he got that smoke down, started to defuse, threw the flash off, and won the round.
Now let's not remember Gambit's, let's not forget even, should I say, Gambit's CT side was pretty much their stronghold throughout this game. It's what really got them to this point. So don't think this game's over, even if CLG close out cleanly on this side.
There's also this kind of like mental confidence thing with overtime in CT. I don't have an actual stat for it, but in my opinion, it is easier to play overtime on the CT side. I have no idea why, but it just seems that way. And when I talk to players, they kind of always like agree on that, and most of them also like to play that CT side because you can just wait, because everything is so tense. You don't want to make a mistake. You want your opponent to come to you and then make a decision.
Gambit prepare themselves for what looks like this B hit to come in. No map control elsewhere, but there's only 2 players actually here. One towards Graffiti, or ABC, and one playing towards the water side. One up on top as well, that'd be Ricky. Molly goes in, he's smoked out, has to adjust, and this kind of signifies it's probably go time now for Gambit. FNS prepares. No one's actually pushed through yet, though. It's a bit of a delayed hit from Gambit here, having to respect the fact there's still a lot of utility on CLG to deny this. And nice shoulder peek, very, very diligent from the Gambit side. Now, bomb's planted, 4 players alive. This is a very nice round.
FNS still alive here in the water. If Ricky can get this peek to work, get that opening, then they have a chance of making this retake work, but otherwise it's going to be very hard. The post-plant positions are perfect for Gambit.
Kusta, though, still alive and kicking. Kusta again. Shall I just keep saying this man's name? It looks like no one else is coming alive. And yes, it is just Kusta. This is his ace. If he gets it done, no, he fully falls. But Ricky, where are you right now? You've got to be doing just as good. Hobbit playing the time perfectly. And that's the closer of the first half of OT. And a lifeline for Gambit.
Yeah. Getting that 1 round in the end, so very important.
Really, really was. It's just Kusta suddenly started to perform, I've got to say. He went from having a very shaky start. It wasn't his best performance, which was kind of, confusing. Normally it's him. You're really, really shying off with that AWP. And then this, the second half, the OT has been his domain. So we'll see if it makes a difference coming into that second half in OT, because initially they weren't that great, if I'm honest. Gambit were very strong on that CT side.
Let's see him. What Gambit can do. The team that is, well, liked by many and respected by even more.
It was the quick rise to fame as well. They certainly kind of pulled it all together. You saw Zeus, fall from grace almost, with what happened, but then he just picked up, relentless. So it's very easy to get behind these guys, very likable side. But CLG taking a little bit of early damage here. Not too bad if it's on Kusa. He's still got the AWP, he's fine, but Ethan gets a little bit scrapped up there. But at the end of the day, CLG need to find their form on this T side. And Gambit need to shut it down before it starts.
See him slowly taking connector control from CLG. What a shot from Ricky. Zeus just nailed to the ground. And that is what we call a 5v4 advantage right there.
Losing out on Zeus as well, who was integral during this CT half, bearing in mind in regular time. You have to be aware now. Considering CLG haven't really committed anywhere either, this looks quite like a bit of a default thus far. Just you've got to still play over by toilets. It looks like they're kind of slowly working over towards B. A couple of players now working their way through to it, but this could be the hit coming in. A bit of a boost comes out as well. Don't see too much, but he sees enough. Hobbit going to find Ricky. And now they have to prepare if there's maybe a hit coming through Monster. They don't really have anyone down there now, but a good flash will hinder the approach. Allows Dozier to get into position, but Kusta again! This man is a headliner thus far. Hobbit now tries to push in, find a bit of relevance still in this round, try and keep himself in this. But Kusta already prepares for the rest. Ethan pushes up. That's surely going to be a bomb plant. Kusta again makes that AWP sing, as it's just Dren playing back into this, and he knows this might be a lost cause.
This has been so amazing to watch because Kusta had a very slow start to this game. Ricky was the only one stepping up with the AWP in the beginning, and we had to wait around 10 rounds before he got really into the game, but now he's fired up. He's firing on all cylinders right now. And they all sound like an AWP. And he gets hit 3K, survives with 1 HP. That's actually around just before that. They also survived with 1 HP. So not a lot between them right now. But Kusta is making the difference.
Yeah, he is being an absolute beast as we speak. Now, for Gambit, return to the stage. You'd hope for more than this, but a good game has come through this one. We know these two have very close matches, but 3 AWPs, Gambit? All right, just why not? All in, doesn't go well. Ricky's like, nah, we're already running 2 on the T side. Go away. Don't need more AWPs up. Anyway, at this point, Zeus hoping. I'll take out the door, gets a shot at it. You need to land it. No, Ricky again.
Oh, well.
2 times in a row.
Oh,
Zeus
well.
has died to this sort of thing. And you hate it. You sit there, you're furious, you're frustrated. But at the end of the day, it is all looking CLG's ways so far. But Hobbit
That was
something
the
to this.
first good gamble from Gambit in that round when they double stacked short. All the other gambles that they did, I didn't agree with. It's of course very easy to stay in my position. But look at that from Adren! Almost doubles up there. And Cutler leaves it all to Hobbit, the young man, to save it all.
Hobbit, the adventure begins now. Spots one out, nade comes in, but he's so low already, 22 HP.
Bomb is
Gets
down.
Ethan down pretty low. Molly gonna force him into an awkward position, 4 HP, backs away. Let's see if Hobbit can somehow do the impossible. And Finesse takes a little bit of a lick from the fire too. Now they do still have a Molly that's gonna be played in now, but he's already back from this position. So good stuff from him. He can play back into this as well. That could be quite nice if he can find the out. Oh, he found the shot, but the second was too far. It's CLG to close it out in overtime. But what a brilliant matchup between these two. The perfect start for Gambit. That CT side looked flawless, looked like it couldn't be challenged.